Christ.
We find ourselves at difficult times, a time of pandemic, a time of uncertainty. And the things that we do, the adjustments that we make, are geared towards fulfilling the following main goals. Number one, we adjust in order to prevent and, if possible, totally stop transmission of this virus. Why do we do that? Because number two, we don't want to get sick, or we don't want people to get sick of coronavirus. And why do we do that? Because eventually we don't want people or to put people's lives in danger. We don't want unnecessary death for people to die with coronavirus. There are, of course, corollary attached goals within this three. Iwasan natin gumastos sa pagpapaospital, iwasan natin ang chaos, political chaos, because of difficulty of controlling a widespread virus. Iiwasan natin to, iiwasan natin yan. But essentially, yung tatlo ang talagang iniiwasan natin. We prevent transmission, we prevent sickness, and ultimately, we are preventing unnecessary death habang wala pang gamot at habang wala pang vaccine. Ironically, the gospel, however, talks about dying. Whoever forsakes his life for my sake. Bakit parang hindi nagtutugma yung leksyon ng ating ebanghelyo at yung ating ginagawa? Well, precisely because the gospel is not in error. The gospel speaks in literary form. Hindi sinasabi ni Jesus na lumapit kayo sa kamatayan. Rather, the focus is not on the figurative dying. The focus of the teaching of Jesus is the transitioning from being a passive survivor. Magtatago ako, survival instinct, gagawin kong lahat para sa sarili ko. A transition from selfishness and self-survival into an active promotion of life, not just for oneself, but for others. Kaya't ang napagagandang talinhagang ginagamit niya ay wag lang yung sarili, kahit mahirap ang panahon, wag lang yung sarili ang iingatan. You have to sacrifice in order to be actively promoting life for others. So as we read this gospel in this Mass, we thank the many people who show us what this gospel means. Shout out sa mga hindi na nag-asawa dahil inalay ang buhay para alagaan ang kanilang mga magulang. Shout out sa mga huli na or late nag-asawa dahil inuna muna patapusin ang mga kapatid, inuna muna ang pamilya bago intindihin ang sariling kapakanan. A shout out to the many OFWs who are sacrificing loneliness and distance in order to provide, in order to sustain their families dito sa Pilipinas na tumitingala sa kanila and yes, umaasa sa kanilang tulong at sakripisyo. Shout out to the many government officials who, because of their exposure, cannot go home to their loved ones. This includes medical frontliners, nagseserbisyo sa ospital, at because they are at risk of exposure, they would not allow such exposure to come to their homes. Hindi muna sila umuuwi sa kanilang mga tahanan para lang makapaglingkod sa kanilang kapwa. This is what the gospel means by saying, I sacrifice myself in order to give life to others. Parang trigong binaon nga, pero nagbibigay naman mamaya ng buhay sa iba. This is what being human entails. This is the nobility of humanity. This is the true meaning of being called once more sons and daughters of the Father. Like Jesus, we carry our cross, we sacrifice, but not simply for self-survival. We sacrifice in order to give life to many. We stand as we offer our prayers of the faithful. As we celebrate the feast of a